Hey, everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, March 7th, 2021. Oh, hey, Tara. Thanks for flying all the way to Genoa City to beat Kyle to the punch. We appreciate your dedication to helping us out here. To come all the way to Genoa City to tell him in public, standing right in the middle of the lobby of the hotel that's owned by his practically mother-in-law. Thank you for telling him in front of everyone that he does have a son, that she lied to him, that she lied to her husband, and now she's really hoping to keep that lie going. I bet she is. I bet she's really hoping to keep that lie going. I get it. She knows her husband better than anyone, and we had better not wake the Loch Ness Monster. I think this Tara Locke is worried about her son, yes, but I also think she's worried about her own hide. If her husband feels betrayed, he is going to point most of that anger toward her. She's the betrayer. She's the one who betrayed their marriage with this affair. I tell ya, I think Kyle needs to step it up here. I am ready to see Kyle stop waffling, stop weenieing around. I want to see Kyle step it up and be there for his son, claim his son. There is no going back now. He has a son. He knows it. And fear is not a good enough reason to ignore all of this. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Should Kyle face facts about the son that he has, or do you think he should just leave well enough alone? That's our poll question for this week at yrchat.com. If you'd like to vote and let me know what you think Kyle should do here. Judging by Kyle's reaction, I think that Kyle wants to face the facts. I think Kyle wants to be there for his son and to have a relationship with his son. And I think ultimately he's going to. I think we're going to see Kyle be bold here. And I'm ready for it. I need it. After everything that the character of Kyle has gone through, I just am ready to see him break out. And it was heartbreaking to watch him learn that he was a father and didn't even know it. He felt his whole world move right in that moment. And then shortly after, he had the realization that he couldn't pursue a relationship with his son because he might be opening a powder keg. I get it. I really get it. And I was moved by Kyle's realization. I was glad that Kyle decided to open up to Summer about it all because he didn't have to. And I was glad that Summer is choosing to be by his side through all of this because she didn't have to. Summer had this opportunity to crack Kyle's phone to find out what was going on with him, to go digging on her own. That was her first instinct. Her first instinct was to get his phone, go digging around, find out what it was that was going on with him. She took Kyle's phone right to Phyllis, asking Phyllis to crack the passcode to find out what's happening here. And I think that I was less shocked by the fact that Summer did that and more shocked by the fact that Phyllis said no. I would have expected for Phyllis to crack open Kyle's phone and go digging for information for herself. So that was a nice twist on expectation, especially in a week where we saw that Phyllis is willing to bend the rules to get information on someone. But here, Phyllis was telling Summer to play it straight. Don't go around Kyle. Just be straight with him. Ask him what's going on and make it a safe space for him to be honest with you about whatever it is. So that's what Summer did, and Kyle knew that he couldn't keep this secret any longer. He now had confirmation straight from Tara that the child was his, and he also got a phone call from Tara saying that they're going to be in town next week. Her and Ashland are going to be in Genoa City next week on business. So Kyle also knew that that was just going to cause him to have to create more lies with Summer. And he's now had some time to reflect on what it was like being separated from his own father at a young age and then being reunited with him later. After talking with Tracy, I got the sense that Kyle felt resolved in everything he needed to do. So he tells Summer the truth. Actually, she asked him what was going on, but I absolutely got the feeling that Kyle was about to tell her anyway. He wasn't planning to hide it forever. He just wanted that confirmation first. And I was impressed with how he told her, and I was impressed with how Summer handled it. Summer didn't throw a fit. She didn't stomp away like a princess. I think she took it head on, and I think she's going to encourage him to face it head on too. I think that there was this really interesting moment where Kyle told Summer his son's name, and I think hearing the child's name, Harrison, made it sink in for Summer even deeper, that this is a person we are talking about. This is a whole person, not an inconvenient fact. You know, because I think Summer certainly saw herself as the woman who would be carrying Kyle's firstborn child. She thought she was going to carry the Abbott heir. And now there's a new Abbott heir. And I also liked that Summer told Kyle that he didn't necessarily have to go along with Tara's plan to keep it all a secret. It would have been easy for Summer to say, yeah, let's just put our heads in the sand, move forward, not think about this too much. But she was actually encouraging him to think about having a relationship with his son. She was saying, yeah, Ashland Locke, he may seem big and bad, but so does Victor. So does my grandfather. And we all know that he's just a big, bad teddy bear these days. Maybe it won't turn out so bad. Well, I think we're going to find out next week, because Ashland Locke, the Loch Ness Monster that we have been promised, is scheduled to appear on screen March 11th. Richard Burgie, you know how I am with names. That's who's going to be playing the role. I'm getting vibes just from looking at his pictures that he might be able to play the big bad Ashland Locke to good effect. Although I don't know. Maybe Ashland's not so bad. Maybe he'll be mature about the whole thing. Maybe he'll just let Kyle have a relationship with his son, and it'll all work out nice and neat. Not. It was Summer who also encouraged Kyle to go talk to Jack about the whole situation with Ashland Locke. Get Jack's perspective. Maybe Jack has something to offer that you and I haven't thought of. Go talk to your dad. And Kyle loved this idea. It became clear to me watching Kyle that this was someone who was hurting, and he just really wanted to talk to his dad. He's finding out that he is a dad, and he just wanted to talk to his dad. But when Kyle went to go talk to Jack and Sally were having a quiet, casual, non-labeled evening at home at the Abbott mansion, and it put the kibosh on anything Kyle was going to say. He didn't feel comfortable telling his biggest secret to Jack if there was any chance it would get back to Sally, or that Sally would guess that something was going on. And then so that drives a wedge between the relationship with Kyle and his father, but also there's the wedge there that Kyle doesn't trust Sally's intentions for Jack, but Kyle can't really say anything about that. They're at a stalemate. So I think Kyle is feeling as if he's lost his father to Sally in a way, and there's nothing that he can do about it. Because if he goes exposing her secrets, then she's going to expose his. And then, frankly, at this point, I don't think that Jack would even believe anything that anyone had to say about Sally. Jack has already made up his mind about Sally. Sally is slinking around Fenmore's, Angebo, and the mansion, and the whole town like she owns the place. And Phyllis has decided that it's her job to drive Sally out. Phyllis sneaks in to Sally's hotel room this week. Well, let's be honest, she breaks in to Sally's hotel room this week. She steals Sally's laptop, sets that hot pink marble laptop case like right in the back of the reception desk in plain view of anyone who's walking in. And she takes a long look at Sally's search history, which is chock full of Abbott-related news articles from the Genoa City Chronicle. It was every article that the Genoa City Chronicle has published on the Abbotts within the last couple of years, up to and including the article about Tracy's newest mystery novel. I wonder if Sally has read it, for research. Is she kicking back, reading one of Tracy's mystery novels so she can be prepared? Man. Well, okay. On the surface, this looks bad, but I'm telling you, Sally Spectra knew Phyllis was going to be walking into her room anytime she wanted. I think Sally anticipated that Phyllis could break into her room at any time, and I think that Sally left her laptop there for Phyllis to see and to find. And I think that tells us that Sally Spectra is very crafty. She is several steps ahead. I think she's gonna let Phyllis go ahead and try to expose her, because Sally knows that the more that people try to warn Jack about her, the more it's going to make Jack defend her. I think Sally is making her detractors work for her. Nick happened upon Phyllis standing there with Sally's hot pink marble laptop, and he knew right away that it wasn't hers. And Nick tried to reason with Phyllis to just drop the whole thing about Sally, and I hate to say it, but Nick was right. I enjoy Phyllis's meddling on an entertainment level, but Phyllis does seem to always need to have an enemy. And Nick, essentially in a nice way, said, "Gee, Phyllis, it seems like you always have to be fighting with someone, and at a point, maybe the problem isn't everyone else in the world. Maybe the problem is you? I was thinking, yes, Nick. Yes, Nick. It's true, Nick. Phyllis was not fooling me with her crocodile tears when she was rebuttaling, telling Nick that she would just love to have an escape club fantasy where all she had to do was sit around for a day and look at 4 white walls, but the drama just keeps finding her. Whatever, Phyllis. You crave the drama, you crave the excitement, and if you don't have the drama, then you create it for yourself. You create the excitement for yourself. I love that about her. I'm just looking for some honesty about it. And I think that Phyllis's pursuit of Sally is going to backfire. Nick went right to Jack to warn Jack about Phyllis's pursuit, while at the same time, Phyllis was having a private meeting with Lauren to try to warn her about Sally's ascension, Sally's intention, Sally's ambition. Yes, Sally's ambition is a real problem around here. But, of course, Lauren's team Sally. Lauren has seen all of Sally's good qualities, all of the ways that the proof's in the pudding. She's doing a good job. And so Lauren relayed all of that information that Phyllis gave to her right straight back to Jack, which led Jack to go straight to Phyllis directly. He confronted her nicely, but directly, and said to her, I don't want this to cause a problem between you and I, so back off. Back off of Sally. Oh, this is a tough one because I think Jack is a big boy. Jack is a mature man, as a matter of fact. He doesn't strike me as naive. Vulnerable, though, yeah. I mean, maybe. And I also will say that he does strike me as very eager to please. Sally bought Jack a brand new hip velvet jacket, the kind that all of the young hip men are wearing these days, and she wanted Jack to try it on right there in the office. And there was this moment where you could tell that Jack was clearly not comfortable as the CEO of Jabot, treating the conference room like it was a dressing room. But rather than disappointing Sally, he threw that caution to the wind. He did it anyway. He took off his jacket. He took off his purple tie. He did a little twirl. Okay, maybe not that last one, but he was clearly trying to make an effort to lighten up, to go with her flow. And I could see it seeming like a little bit of a compromise. The majority of Y&R chatters are most certainly not trusting Sally's intentions. They think that Sally's about to devour Jack. I asked you guys last week if you think what's going on there could be considered real romance being developed, or if it's something shady. 65% of you don't trust Sally. You think something shady's going on. Let's see, 35% of you voted with me, saying that it's real romance, potentially. In any other universe, I think I would have said that it was something shady, but I just have seen, I feel like I can see where Y&R's going with it, and I think they want it to be real romance. I wonder what Ashley and Tracy are going to say about this. That's what I'm really, really waiting for. I want to know what Ashley and Tracy will have to say on the topic of Sally's Spectra. And I don't know, we'll see. I think I'm kind of waiting to find out what Tracy thinks about it, because that's the opinion that I'll probably ultimately go with. Wait a minute. Some nameless girl at Faith's school got suspended for taking a photo of Adam and Sharon at society and texting it to Faith. Hey man, if they were kissing in public, doesn't this girl have the right to take the photo? There's no law saying that you can't take a photo of something you see in public and then text that photo to something else. I think this girl, this anonymous, nameless girl, needs to get a lawyer. What crime did she commit exactly that was bad enough to get her now kicked out of school? She's ruined her chances of being accepted at the finest college that money can buy around here. And we don't even know if this person was a part of the bully squad. Maybe she just texted the photo to Faith so that Faith could know what was up. You guessed it, it was me. I did it. I texted the photo to Faith. Now I'm suspended from school. My life is over. Oh. Well, Faith seems back on track this week. Taking away her old phone seems to have given her some time to reflect and to grow. And she tells Nick and Sharon that she is now ready to stand up to her bullies. She hands over the names of the people who she thinks has been doing it, and I guess they all get in trouble. Then at the end of the week, Faith gets another new anonymous text message to her new phone from someone who's seeming like an ally, seeming friendly, saying, I hope they get in trouble for what they did to you. Okay, so we've resolved the old bullies, but now we have a new anonymous person, more new anonymous text messages, and from a new person. I need something to happen here. I don't love watching text messages on TV. Like, all of this text message drama, it's getting me lost. I mean, everything with Faith, all of her dramas being taken place off screen. But that's not true. I guess it's on screen. In blue and white speech bubble texts. What's not thrilling about that? It's like one step forward, two steps back on everything with Faith. Oh, well, at least maybe we'll get some thrilling revelations during Sharon and Rey's marriage counseling sessions. Assuming that actually happens on screen. Wait a minute, Allie, that's a big assumption. For all I know, we're not even going to see that. But Sharon has agreed to go to marriage counseling with Rey. And I think that Sharon is going to end up uncovering some uncomfortable truths during these marriage counseling sessions. What was it she told Faith? It's like rewatching a movie that you've seen before, but only you have an expert who's now pointing out some things that you didn't see the first time. Irony. Well, I kind of think maybe Sharon should talk to Rey about Adam the way that she talked to Faith about Adam this week. Reminding Rey the way she reminded Faith that Adam not only saved her life by helping her get diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which led to her getting the right treatment, but Adam also saved Faith's life during the great tornado that I can't find on YouTube, even though I looked it up because I wanted to see the great tornado where Adam saved Faith's life. But I just keep thinking, well, if Sharon talked to Rey the way that she talked to Faith this week, maybe it would help give some context to Sharon's relationship with Adam. But I suppose it probably still wouldn't make Rey comfortable with the fact that Adam's ready to walk away with his wife. Teal blue! Teal blue is the magic jumpsuit color. That's the one that did the trick. Teal blue is the magic color for a full recovery. And then also putting a bullet right through Adam's pretty face. Yeah, teal did the trick for Chelsea. I knew one of these color combinations was going to get it right. Oh, silly Chelsea. You can shoot at Adam all you want, but you can't kill him. No one can ever kill him. We've all tried. We're not going to blame you. Everyone gets a shot, but just don't fool yourself into thinking that he's ever going to die. Even in dreams, Adam Newman could be shot, set on fire, rolled into the lake, and he'd still walk out alive. He'd walk out with a new face, but he would still be alive. So you keep dreaming, Chelsea. Just keep dreaming. I guess that dream does say a lot about where Chelsea's head is right now in terms of her relationship. I'm getting crime of passion. Crime of passion. Is there anyone else out there who might have a motive for shooting Adam, who Chelsea might be able to pin this on, because nobody would suspect that it's her because she's clearly immobile? Is there anybody who's come knocking at Adam's door recently, threatening him, treating him like a criminal, seeming kind of irrational? We'll see. We will see. Well, Chelsea made a ton of progress this week. She used both arms to reach down and roll her wheelchair. She stood up from her wheelchair. And next week, she's talking to Chloe. Oh, I have got to give Chloe way more credit than I would give to myself, because early in the week, Chloe thought to have Chelsea tap out her SOS signal right on her phone. Why didn't I think of that at all? I'm over here making smoke signals, trying to put a pencil in Chelsea's hand, asking her to write out a message. And Chloe had the tech skills to really get to the bottom of this. This was great. Great moment. Chelsea uses Chloe's phone to tap out the word Sharon. Sharon. That's the first word that Chelsea typed. Sharon. So Chloe says, "Is Sharon hurting you?" One strong blink for yes. Next word Chelsea types out, Adam. Sharon and Adam, Chloe says. Something going on with Sharon and Adam. You mean to tell me, girl, that you had a stroke? You can't speak, you have no mobility, and the first thing that you want to communicate to me is about Sharon and Adam. It seems to me that you got bigger problems than what's going on with Sharon and Adam. It all seemed so trivial in that moment. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. But I feel like maybe Chelsea should be thinking about getting back to Connor above all. Like, you mean to tell me that Connor thinks that his mom went through the brain surgery just fine a couple of months ago, but he just hasn't been able to speak with her in months at this point? This kid is not even the least bit suspicious. Well, since Adam told everyone, including the audience, that he and Chelsea were planning to leave Genoa City before her aneurysm, Y&R thought they better bring that back up. They thought they better answer that question of why Adam and Chelsea are still sticking around Genoa City. So Adam asks Chelsea's doctor if it might be better for Chelsea to be closer to her son, to finish her recovery somewhere else. But of course, the doctor says no. No. We definitely would not want Chelsea to be around her son right now. It would definitely be a bad idea to let Chelsea see her son's face as motivation to fight. But getting Adam's sexy ex-wife therapist to rile Chelsea up, that was a great idea. That was a stroke of modern medicine's finest genius. And of course, Adam had to meet with the good doctor at Crimson Lights, owned by said sexy ex-wife therapist. And Adam then had to let Sharon know that he's trying to leave town. He's trying to leave her alone, just as she requested. He's trying, but he's just stuck here, though. Stuck in an infinite love loop with Sharon. And now Adam might have a job. Maybe. Adam had a job offer. Victor offers Adam the job of running this new media company that Victor's trying to acquire, but Adam would be running it totally separate from Newman Enterprises. It's a new company. They're not connected at all. So it's not like Adam and Victoria would be working together, or that Adam would be reporting to Victoria, where he doesn't want to tick off either of them. He just wants to get revenge on Billy and wants Adam's help with it. I think Victor knows that Adam will be more than happy to help go after Billy, even if Victoria won't do it. But Victor made the mistake of telling Victoria about this whole plan with Adam to buy Ashland Locke's media company and to let Adam run it separately. So at the very tail end of Friday's show, Victoria does a sneaky little end run around Victor. She calls Ashland's people and tries to lead them to believe that she's acting on Victor's behalf for this purchase, when she's really trying to purchase it from out from under him, so that she can then put an end to the father-son bonding business thing that's going on with Victor and Adam, and so that she can keep total control of the situation. But unless Victoria is planning to buy this media company for herself with her own personal funds, it seems to me that Victoria doesn't have as much control over the situation as she thinks she does. She can go ahead and buy Cyaxaries on behalf of Newman Enterprises, but then Victor still owns it either way. He can just boot Victoria out of the CEO chair and put Adam in it. Cyaxaries. It sounds like a prescription drug. Ask your doctor if Cyaxaries is right for you. I don't think it is. Maybe Cyaxaries is a drug that helps people manage their jealousy, and maybe Victoria should take it. Because that Scotch neat conversation ended up on the rocks. But in a good way, in a kind of great way. I liked that very much. Victoria stops by Chancecom to look for Billy, and Lily says, "Oh, Billy's not here. Were you wanting to talk to him about something personal or something professional?" And Victoria said, "Well, I don't have a professional relationship with Billy, so..." Ooh. That was really good. And I love how Lily really tries to keep it all on the up and up, but she's willing to dig in if she needs to. She's willing to fight if she needs to. Lily tried to be the bigger person there. She asked Victoria, let's just sit down, let's have a drink, let's clear the air. Lily didn't want it to be awkward, but I think Victoria must have skipped her Cyaxares pill that day, because she launched right into a rant to let Lily know that, oh, don't get too comfortable in your relationship with Billy because it won't last. I like these two going at it. I think this is an interesting dynamic. I thought it was very good because Lily then launched right back in to tell Victoria the quite honest truth that Victoria is just jealous that Billy has become the man that she wanted after their marriage ended. Truth, Mom. Truth hurts. Sorry. Somehow I think that Billy probably would have loved to be a fly on the wall during that conversation, because I think deep down he probably would have been tickled to have two women fighting over him. That probably would have really worked out for his ego, but I also think that there is absolutely zero chance that Billy wants Victoria back at all. I think Billy is perfectly thrilled about his life right now, which is a huge turnaround from where he was a year or two ago when he was with Victoria. Billy had Victoria. He was miserable. Now he has Lily, and he's thriving, both personally and professionally. He still needs funding and approval from his mommy, though. I loved seeing Jill this week, even if it was on a tiny little tablet screen. I think that Jess Walton is dynamic. Even when she's on a tiny little tablet screen, I was into her. Forget the business talk, though. I would have loved that scene instead to have been Billy telling Jill that he's dating Lily and that they're getting serious. But Jill already seemed to know that. That was a little disappointing. I think it would have been cooler to see Jill learn the news that Billy and Lily were together, considering she's the one who put them together. Ooh, Elena and Devon both admitted to each other this week that they're still thinking about what happened between them. They're still thinking about what they did. But Devon doesn't admit what they did to Amanda. That's getting a little annoying. Mr. Righteous Devon Hamilton needs to find some time to casually getting around to mentioning to Amanda how he had casual sex with Elena on his living room floor while he was totally dating Amanda. I don't think that Elena would have admitted it to Nate, though, if Nate hadn't guessed. I think she was absolutely planning on keeping that secret, but at least she's admitting it to him now that her feelings for Devon never went away. More importantly, she's admitting it to herself that her feelings for Devon never went away. I thought we were going to see a little bit more of that story for the week. It seemed like we were starting up something right there on Thursday, and then Friday's show didn't pick back up on it. Like I thought we were going to see Elena breaking up with Nate in a little more vivid detail. But Elena, that's the essence of what was going on, though, because Elena pretty much stopped short of telling Nate, "It's not you, it's me." That was definitely a breakup conversation, but it seemed like it got cut short. Well, we are moving full steam ahead on the baby-making story, though. Amanda encouraged Devon to take his contract about the sperm donation thing seriously. She really wanted him to take it seriously, to think about what it really means to give up a child, as she put it. Those were her words. But then again, Amanda has some personal feelings that are being tied in here, and Devon just sees it all as just helping out his friend Abby. He's just helping out a friend who just so happens to then be showing up at the door with a framed photo of Catherine Chancellor as a gift. Like, please don't back out now, Devon. Please, I'm desperate. Can I remind you of how our families are connected? She knew what she was doing there, and I feel like Amanda saw it. Abby's fighting for her own interest, but the lawyers are there supposed to be fighting for the client's interest, and I liked that Amanda was trying to do that. And then on the surrogacy front, Brittany was telling Mariah that things aren't quite so cut and dry. Everybody thinks that because we're all friends, it's not going to be a problem, but Brittany was really quick to point out that there's a lot more here than you're thinking about. There are a whole lot of mom duties before, during, and after the baby is born, and all that needs to be ironed out. Brittany was great. She was great. She even suggested that maybe Mariah should get some therapy to help her maybe go think about some things that maybe she wouldn't have thought about before. And I think that's great. But I also didn't like how Mariah played it off like, yeah, I'll just go talk to Sharon. Well, maybe it might be helpful for Mariah to have a totally third-party perspective, someone who's not your mom. I mean, your mom is going to talk to you differently about being a mom than a therapist would. I think everybody's kind of blowing this off like it's not a big deal, and maybe it is a big deal. Or maybe it should be. It was nice seeing Mariah check in with Tessa, at least, though, to make sure that Tessa is really ready for what she and they are going to be going through. And I gotta hand it to Tessa. I think it's wonderful to see how supportive she is for absolutely anything Mariah wants to do. I'm glad that they're looking forward to whatever adventure is gonna be for them when all of this is over. But at the same time, I'm surprised that Tessa has absolutely no qualms about any of this. I mean, even Amanda looks a little concerned about it all, and she just started dating Devon. Abby's part of the contract is being handled by Christine. Ooh, ah, Laura Lee Bell. Ooh, ah. In the same scene with Trisha Cast. Hey, how about some scenes that are just with Christine and Nina? How about that instead? How about just some Cricket and Nina scenes? I'll leave Abby out of it. I don't need her. Abby's legal meeting was cut short, though, because Abby has a new idea to be included in her contract. She wants Mariah and Tessa to move in with her, move into the Chancellor Mansion. Now, I don't think it's as bad of an idea as Nina and Jill thought it was going to be, but I did like that Jill took a mental tangent when she weighed in on it to talk about all of the ways that the Chancellor Mansion is smaller than you think. Because living there with Esther was super annoying. That's funny. That was funny and fun. But Nina had more of a discerning eye on the situation, and she was concerned that it would be unhealthy for Abby if something were to go wrong with the baby. Okay, two things. First of all, Y&R has now introduced the idea into my head that something could go wrong with the baby. I hope that we are not going through all of this effort just to have a miscarriage. But two, if Mariah does miscarry, then shouldn't we be concerned about Mariah and getting Mariah some help? Not whether or not Abby will be sad watching Mariah walk out the front door? It's all about Abby. And also, I think that this decision isn't something that should be included in a contract. Like, Mariah and Tessa shouldn't feel like they have to be locked inside of the mansion's four walls while Mariah's carrying Abby's precious cargo. The living situation should be something that Abby casually tosses out there, that Mariah and Tessa can take it or leave it. But they won't. Of course, they won't. Who wouldn't want to live with everyone's best friend, Abby? And we cannot keep this Chancellor Mansion set around if nobody's living there. We need as many people in this town to live in the same place as possible. It's more budget friendly. Okay. I get it. This is about consolidating and putting our drama at the Chancellor Mansion. I get it. Fine. But all of this messiness is making my head spin. Can we just get back to hanging out with the moms? I'm enjoying that part of it way more. Christine and Nina, or even Ashley and Nina. I love Nina. This is the one great thing that's come out of all of this, is that there's more Nina. She's giving me all of the realness, like real human being that I need right now. And Ashley was the cherry on top of it all. And Christine, it was just great. I laughed though, because I think that Ashley totally left that box of donuts there for Nina to find. Well played, Ashley. Well played. Ashley said, here's some donuts for later. Well, I don't think so, Ashley. I don't trust that at all. There is no such thing as donuts for later. Donuts are always for now. She's sneaky and shady, that Ashley Abbott, but I loved that Nina just flipped open the box top and went to town on those donuts. Well played, Nina. Well played. Calm down, Shakespeare. All right. Calm down, Shakespeare. That was our quote from last week. The answer was Lily. It was a really funny moment. She was commenting on the poetic genius of Billy's business proposal. He was really into his business proposal, and she said, calm down, Shakespeare. It's not poetic genius. I do like how she keeps him in check. And it was Sam, Marianne V, Henry, Daisy, Lynn, Jamie, Heather, Victoria, Diane K, Tony, Ambreen, Sheila, and Diana who all got it right. You all guessed it. That must have been a pretty obvious one. I don't know. I never know what people are going to be able to pick right up on and what they won't. But how about this one? We'll see if you can catch this. Good food enhances decision making. Well, now this is an idea that I can get behind. Good food enhances decision making. Do you know who said it? Well, if you do, you should go to yrchat.com to leave your guess. And if you get it right, I'll give you your shout out during next week's Y&R Chat. I think you can sense the theme of the week for me. It's food. If you didn't go to the website this week and notice in my daily chat thread, I went to a special ice cream shop on Monday, and I decided in honor of Devon Hamilton that I would order his favorite ice cream flavor, butter pecan. And I 100% stood there at the menu board looking at all of the different amazing options, and the butter pecan just stuck out to me for that exact reason, and I said, I'm ordering this because of Y&R. I could order anything, but this feels right on coming off of the conversation about how I would be a psycho if I ordered the mint chocolate chip. I felt that I needed to order the butter pecan, and it was buttery, and it was crunchy, and it was delicious. I did not regret it 1 minute. Well, no, I regretted it later after, that went straight to my thighs. But hey, let's get to your comments for the week, starting with Sherrod, who says, please, for the love of some drama and drawing the line on how much she will just go along with everything, let Tessa say no to moving into that house with Abby. She is too controlling. Yes, I think it would make complete sense if, for once, Tessa put her foot down on this and said, okay, I'm all right, giving up, everything we're going to have to give up in this change in our life for this surrogacy, but I don't want to give up where I'm living. I don't want to have to live under Abby's roof, too. It does come off as controlling. It's funny that Abby was we were meant to see Abby as giving up some of the control when she decided to, let everybody know that they should get their contracts and, oh, I want this to be best for you. But at the end of the day, we're also seeing her try to keep a real tight rein on all of this. I mean, it's one thing for Devon. He as far as the pregnancy goes, he has a short, it's not going to take very long to do what Devon's going to need to do to contribute. But Mariah has to go through this long process of, not only 9 months of carrying the baby, but it takes a while to get your hormones back under control. Like, this is much more involved for Mariah, and it's pretty clear that Abby wants to keep a tight control on all of it, and it would just come off as so awkward to me. I don't know that I would want to live with Abby on top of all of it if I was Mariah, and then on top of everything else, I don't know that I would want to live with Abby if I was Tessa. Oh, but I think that's where they're going. Oh, let's switch on over to a little something different. Victoria says, Faith was so wise and brave to give the names of her bullies. I love seeing Nick and Sharon work together to tackle Faith's problem. It was an insightful and honest conversation. Added to this was Sharon helping Faith to see that things are not black and white where Adam is concerned. Yes, really, we did definitely see an evolution of Faith's character this week. I'm just a little disappointed that we haven't seen a lot of evolution on Faith's plot. We seem to have been dropped into a new plot, and I don't know how much more of it I can take. I need some answers. But yes, the moment with Nick and Sharon and Faith was great. The moment with Sharon and Faith was great. Diana says, I enjoyed the conversation that Sharon had with her daughter. It was time that Faith hear about Adam and how he once tried to save Faith's life. It was time for Sharon to highlight and share Adam's good qualities and positive experiences with Faith rather than just the negative. Faith needed to hear these facts to help her understand why Sharon is still drawn to Adam. Sharon left out the story where Adam also helped Sharon break out of prison or avoid prison, can't remember. But Sharon also left out a huge redeeming quality of how Adam once took a bullet for Victor and saved his life. Faith should be given this wonderful and heroic information and be thankful that because of Adam, Faith still has her grandfather in her life. Yes, Diana, and that Faith still has her life herself. Yes, there just hasn't been anyone advocating for Adam that he's anything other than the monster. There's just no one else out there saying it, and Sharon wasn't even saying it until this week. Ellen says, well, Adam also saved Noah and Eden's lives in a fire, and the deaths of Delia and AJ Montalvo were accidents, unlike what Chloe and Billy were intent on doing to him. I've been wondering if they might have Faith get into a dangerous situation and have Adam be the one to save or defend her. Adam has always been a good father, and Faith seeing that parental defender side might soften her view of him. My favorite direction would be for Faith to overhear Adam tearfully talking to a photo of Christian and calling him son. She would be very disillusioned by the lies her whole family has been telling. Everything has been so one-sided. Ooh, yeah. I really like the idea that Adam could save Faith's life again. That would really change some opinions. That would really make some people say, okay, well, maybe Adam's not such a bad guy. Yeah, something like that needs to happen. We've just had so much of Adam negativity for so long. It would be nice to feel good about Adam. I mean, the one thing I do have to thank this writing team for, is the fact that they brought back Adam. They made him a front burner character. I wish he was someone who I was really connecting with a lot better and really understanding, and somebody who was easier to like. They never mention any of Adam's likable qualities. Nobody ever. Not Sharon, not Chelsea, not anybody until this week. And I don't think it's probably going to last all that long, honestly. It was probably a one and done. That conversation with Sharon and Faith, it's probably going to be the only one like it. I don't see Sharon continuing to defend Adam to everyone in town while she's trying to save her marriage and help her daughter. Gary says Faith called the kiss between Adam and Sharon gross, that she would let him kiss her. But beyond that, Faith seems to be taking it in stride. Faith is even defending her mom by saying that she doesn't deserve to be victimized on social media. Her biggest concern being how Rey's taking the news. In discussing her recent troubles in relationships, Faith further observes that Jordan is not all that bad and even tried to defend me from being bullied, but she also got really pissy when I wouldn't go along with what she wanted me to do, and that's not cool. Wow, Faith wonders if her parents will ever trust her again, but Nick tells her, I think you're just about perfect. As I commented above, this is the most startling turnabout of affairs. I ask myself, is this the end of the troubled Faith storyline? But Y&R will never drop Adam and Sharon, so is this just a lull before the storm? Yes, that's the question. Was that scene and that series of scenes, was that meant to wrap up Faith storyline? Okay, bullying's over, she's fine, everybody feel good. Or is this a lull before the storm? I don't know. I think if Sharon's relationship with Rey tanks, which I predict it will, it's possible that Faith could be headed back down her dark path, and she doesn't need Jordan for it. Southside Granny says, I think Faith has been hitting the bottles behind the bar at the Grand Phoenix. Didn't anyone notice Phyllis looking at the bottle with the inquisitive look on her face? No, I didn't notice that, but I said it last week too. I wouldn't be surprised if Faith was pulling the wool over all of our eyes. Just as perhaps the Faith's being pulled over Faith's eyes a little bit, because Jamie says, I keep wondering if Nick and Sharon found out that Jordan was the one who planted the booze in Faith's locker. They are suspiciously keeping the identity of the culprit hidden. Maybe they're trying to protect Faith from the harsh truth, if only for the time being. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking the whole time, Jamie, that Nick and Sharon weren't really divulging the name of the person who took the photo, and that does make me wonder if it could still be Jordan. All they said was that she had a boyfriend at Society, and it wasn't hard to connect the dots, but it's possible that even that piece of the puzzle isn't true. I don't know. I did get the impression that maybe Nick and Sharon knew, didn't want to tell her, and that maybe the name that they weren't saying was Jordan. Well, speaking of harsh truths, Superplex says to Chloe, you haven't seen that photo of Adam and Sharon yet? Yeah, I didn't think about that, but if that photo was blasted all over social media, then shouldn't Chloe have seen it? She's really out of the loop these days, because she also didn't end up seeing the article that got published about Adam until way down the road. So Chloe is slipping. She's supposed to be the it girl, always up on everything, all tech savvy with her husband, and just knowing what the ins and outs of everybody's business is. She sure didn't. She sure didn't know that photo. Maybe she doesn't watch the nightly news. Diana says, it was creepy when Chelsea was sitting in the wheelchair close to Adam in a spot we've never seen her before in their apartment. Even Adam looked spooked by it. as he thought Chelsea had moved there on her own. We then find out that Meredith had placed Chelsea there, and that scene where Chelsea's standing up behind the wheelchair and then quietly puts up her hand to say stop before pointing a gun at Adam, it was unsettling as well. We then find out it was only a fantasy, but Y&R is doing a great job of making this storyline far more dramatic than I imagined. It was pretty cool the way in the dream sequence where Adam he comes into the room, sees Chelsea standing there, and I did have a moment of thinking it was real. But then she stands up, she puts up her hand in that way. Like, she didn't say a word. She just put up her hand like, buddy, don't come any closer to me. And then there was this weird, almost slow-mo whip around of the gun. And it was so shocking with Adam holding his hands up. That was a great cliffhanger. I thought it was true. I mean, there was definitely a moment where I was like, is this happening? Because Y&R did a good enough job of planting those seeds of doubt with Chelsea's anger toward Adam, where it really could have been true. The whole point of her getting better might have been so that she could find her way to the gun cabinet or whatever, pull it out, load it up, shoot Adam right in the face. But no, alas, it was only a dream. Let's talk about this Ashland Locke company that's coming up for grabs. Ellen says this story with Ashland Locke's company seems like it's bringing Victor to life. It's good to have him off the ranch, talking business. I like the idea of Adam running a separate media division and reporting only to Victor. That will annoy both Victoria and Billy. Adam needs something constructive to do with that Harvard degree of his after he recovers from yet another attempted murder, that is. I'd like to see Adam and Victor working together against Billy Boy. Unfortunately, Lily may get caught in the crossfire. I like seeing Victor off the ranch too. It was nice to have a break from him being so embroiled in all of the business drama, but yeah, it's nice to see him getting involved with all of this. And I agree. I like the idea of Adam running a separate company. I also wonder if Victoria ends up buying that media company on behalf of Newman Enterprises, then maybe Victor's intent to split it off into two companies wouldn't end up happening. Maybe what this really will end up, maybe Victoria trying to make that end run around Victor, maybe what it really does is force Victoria and Adam to work together at Newman Enterprises. Maybe that is more the plan, not reporting to each other, but you know, we got to get some more use out of that office. If Victor buys the media company, gives it to Adam, and starts something new, we'd need a new set for that. No, we need both Adam and Victoria in that Newman Enterprises office. It's just too empty. Well, Sherrod says about Victoria, that woman is beyond jealous about Billy and Lily. She asked Billy to keep Lily away from the kids, probably hoping it would break them up. But she wasted no time moving JT into the home with the children. Also, did she really need to bring the Valentine's Day cards from the children to the office? No. Remember, Billy didn't just drop by the house to make a proclamation of love for Lily. He was there because of another crisis with the children. Victoria may say she was done with Billy, but she is like her father when it comes to his son Adam. He can destroy him, but no one else better talk about him. And for Victoria, it is, if you're not happy with me, you will not be happy with anyone else. Yeah, I think we saw some of that charade, didn't we, this week? We saw Victoria's jealousy in full color this week. Let's jump on over to what Kyle should do. Zoperplex says it's time to tell Dad that he's a grandpa. Yeah, I know. I really wanted Kyle to open up to Jack in that scene, but it just didn't happen. But Zuperplex also predicts Kyle is going to slap a paternity lawsuit on Ashland Locke. Loch Ness Monster. Mark my words. he wants to pass on the Abbott baton to the next generation. Yeah, I know. I kind of wouldn't mind seeing Kyle sue for custody if need be, but I like the idea of maybe Kyle harnessing the power of the Abbotts to go after this big bad Ashland Locke. I think that could be good too. Oh, T. Nicole says, I don't get what is so bad about Sally searching up Jack online. Many people who like someone search them up online or Google their name. Even if she didn't like Jack, couldn't it just be research to learn more about the people she's spending time with? In a world of social media and where so much information is available online, this doesn't seem so out of character or suspicious at all. Maybe later in the week we'll see something worse on our computer, but so far I don't see the problem. And P.S. I loved Sally's computer case. I am drawn to pink. My interpretation of that, T. Nicole, is exactly the same as yours. I didn't see it as being all that ominous. She wasn't having, I didn't see her search history as if she was really digging in, trying to go deep into the past. They were all articles from Genoa City Chronicle that were probably from the last 1 to 2 years. And you make a good point. That's basically what everyone does. Everyone Googles everyone. I mean, there's so much information at your fingertips. Why wouldn't she have Googled the Abbott family? To me, it didn't read immediately as, oh, Sally's up to something. But Sherrod says, you may not consider it to be sinister, but it definitely shows that she's pre-planning her mark. It was not just Jack that she looked up. It was information on the entire Abbott family. Remember that. Well, I guess the intent matters there too, because we don't know, did Sally look it up, or was Sally scrolling through the GC Chronicle? No, you're probably right. She probably would have had to go looking for them, right? But the whole thing is, I find it very convenient that they were all just pulled up right there. I think Sally planted it. I think she knew Phyllis was going to break into her room, and she wanted Phyllis to find that, and she wants Phyllis to go to Jack, and she wants Phyllis to end up looking bad out of all of this, and ultimately Sally doesn't have to do much to do it. All she had to do is plant the bait and wait for Phyllis to take it. Robbie says, Phyllis is so exhausting. Due to Phyllis, Kyle, and Summer, I'm now totally on Sally's side. I don't know if that's what the writers intended, but I'm hoping that Sally comes out on top. Yeah, I think that is what the writers intended, though. Well, let's talk about the poll where the majority of you still think Sally is up to something. TB84, though, says, I just like that Jack can feel happiness again. And hopefully he'll have some love that lasts at least more than 1 year. I like them so far. Well, that was a minority vote. Let's hear from a majority, with Ambreen voting no to Jack and Sally. I feel the age gap is way too large. Also, in Jack's last relationship, he was used by Carrie, so I don't want to see him hurt again. Do you guys think that he is intrigued by Sally because she reminds him of a younger Phyllis? I think that's possible, Ambreen, because Jack really could have laid into Phyllis more than he did, but I do kind of want, it's definitely seemed like that when he looks at Sally, he sees a little bit of a younger Phyllis, or there's something that maybe they have more in common. And Jack strikes me as maybe that he's going to try to be the peacemaker as opposed to doing anything to stoke the rivalry that's going on between them. Marianne V says, I think that even though Jack is a lot older than Sally, they could have something good. But Sally has to be sincere and Jack has to be careful because he's longing for a relationship and he deserves one. Time will tell if Sally is the woman that he's been waiting for. Yeah, Jack does need to be careful, but at the end of the day, it's his decision to make, isn't it? Kathy says, I really don't have a problem with the age differences in relationships. 10 to 15 years is fine if they're both grown adults. But I hope Jack and Sally don't start a relationship. There's like a 30-year difference. Plus, Jack has been hurt so badly, and I don't trust Sally. Yeah, it probably is about 30 years because, let's see, Jack's probably, let's see, Sally's probably in her late 20s to early 30s and Jack's probably in his 60s. So, yeah, we are probably pushing about 30. I mean, I can see why an older gentleman would feel attracted to the younger woman because, well, obviously she's beautiful and ambitious. There's many reasons to be attracted to Sally, but also it probably does validate something in Jack, like, yeah, I am still cool, I am still great, I like the confidence boost that a younger woman who is so alluring could be attracted to me. And I also do see why a younger woman would find the older man to be very appealing. There is a security there is an established life there, which is something that Sally doesn't have yet. Like, I understand both sides of what the appeal would be. I mean, I guess, I don't know, 10 to 15 years versus 30 years. I mean, it's all like, you know, some people could be 60 years old and totally immature, you know, versus someone who could be 30 and very mature. So I don't know. The age doesn't bother me as much as maybe I thought it would when we first started this story. When we first started the story, I was definitely like, he's too old. He could be her grandfather. Maybe not maybe, I don't know. But I think as time has gone on, I get the appeal a little more. But Victoria says, I think Sally's plotting to move into the Abbott mansion. She may end up having feelings for Jack. However, her real aim is to be wealthy and powerful, even if it is through marriage. The drama will really start when Jack finds out that Sally's holding Jack's grandson over Kyle's head. Ooh, Victoria. Oh, okay. This I hadn't thought about. The fact that Jack's going to be mad when he finds out that there was that little blackmail tit for tat going on there with Sally and Kyle. I feel like at this point, though, Jack is so sold on Sally that there's nothing anybody's going to say that's going to change his mind. If that truth comes out, I think Sally's easily going to pivot her way into saying, hey, it was all Theo. Theo brought this information to me, didn't have anything to do with me, and also Summer and Kyle were picking on me, threatened to expose my secrets, so why wouldn't I say this? And I didn't feel it was my place to tell you about your grandson. That's how I think Sally will play it, and I think that Jack will buy it, and I think that he would be instead mad at Kyle and Summer for putting Sally in that position. Leslie says, I can't decide if I want to go on the ride with Jack and Sally or just skip to the part where Jack is saying that he should have listened to everybody. It is very possible that at the end of all of this, Jack is going to be saying, ooh, maybe everybody was right about this Sally Spectra. Maybe it all depends on how long Y&R's planning to keep her around. But hey, this is probably my favorite comment of the week. This is the one that's been stuck in my head, and it comes from Herman, who says, instead of the next Phyllis, could Sally be the next Jill? I could see her all moved into the Abbott mansion, wifed up with Jack, and eventually having an affair with Kyle, and give her and little Jack Jr. to tie her to the Abbotts forever. This is the parallel, Herman. I love this parallel. It's not that Sally is the younger Phyllis. Sally's the younger Jill. And that just begs the question, if Sally is the next Jill, will Jack find himself married to Sally when Kyle sleeps with his wife? Ooh! Now that is the full circle moment that I think I can get behind seeing. Perhaps a little bit of comeuppance is coming Jack's way for sleeping with Jill while she was married to John. Ooh, that would be a fun turnaround. Ooh, that would be a fun full circle moment. I like it. Oh, Well, everybody, I hope you like it. I hope you liked your Y&R chat. I hope you liked your Y&R for the week. I'm feeling pretty good being back in my old space. It's just nice to not have to worry about anything technical. All I gotta do is let it roll. I have it all down on a real good, well-oiled machine here in the old Y&R chat closet. Sounds good. Looks is fine. Look as good as I look, and it just feels better to just relax and not be thinking about the technical stuff. I just want to be thinking about the Y&Rs. It's kind of been the week has been a little more bite-sized. I've enjoyed it. We don't have that heavy February sweeps drama. It's just the pacing of this week's show has been pretty good, and I've enjoyed it a lot. I've had a good time. I hope you have, and I hope you go to yrchat.com to leave me your comments, vote in the polls, all that good stuff. Come back and see me next week. We'll see where we are, and we'll chat it all up again. All right, you guys, I love you. I hope you have a good one.